couple of corrections, if you will, to begin today's video. Correction number one, I incorrectly stated that we'd won the FA Cup twice during our time at Wolves. We actually only won it once. We won it in our first season. We got to the final in our final season, though, so that's where I got a little bit confused. So that's correction number one. Correction number two, or just thing I forgot to mention in the last video, number two, we have actually won the Carabao Cup this season. I wasn't planning on showing you, but I actually won it before the last episode, and I just forgot to mention it. So I'm mentioning it now. You probably saw it when I showed you the fixture list. You probably saw that we beat Brighton. I'm just having a quick check here. By 4-1. I don't remember it. I genuinely don't. We obviously did it, but oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Oh, correction number three, or thing I need to point out, number three. Yes, I still have not got batteries. I will get batteries. But we can now move on and talk about today's video, which is going to be Champions League in the quarterfinal, as well as a league game. The league game, it's going to be against Everton. It's at home. That shouldn't be a problem. Can't say the same about 2 games against Barcelona, though. Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 7 of the MyCareer save here with our 4th club, Arsenal. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we're going to be playing those 2 games. I'm actually coming back before the first Barcelona game. I'm not going to show you that game, but I'm going to do a immediately after, just to show you exactly what happened with it. Then we'll get into Everton, then we'll get into the second leg. By the way, second leg's away from home, which is exactly the way I hate it. So, yeah, wish me luck. But if you're excited to see how we get on in today's video, then don't forget to hit the like button for me, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well, just so you can keep up to date with all the nonsense that comes out of this face on a semi-regular basis. Since you were last with me, it's been 3 games. I'm not going to lie, it's only been the 3 games. I think you should be able to see, because I've got my camera's on the wrong side. I'll leave it over here for the moment. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, only played the 3 games since the Leipzig victory, 1-0. We beat Man City, which was great, but my word, this game. This game. First of all, look at the yellow cards. Look at them. They were all over us for the entire game. It was rear guard action, and Methistel ended up in the final minute of extra time to stop us from going through to penalties. Was the man of the hour who did the business and got us through it. I was mad because we just were not showing up in this game, but in the end we managed to pull ourselves through. We then beat Brighton 2-1, another tight one. I think the team very tired coming up into this period. Brighton, we did beat them 2-1. Villalba and Vigeri getting the goals there. This one I'm a little bit annoyed about, because we just were not with it in the first half. We were just poor, slow to everything. Chelsea away from home. We ended up getting a 2-2 draw, but we conceded in the 92nd minute, which annoyed me, because in the second half, we changed the system. They played with a 4-4-2. We went with 3 strikers to just go down the middle, just to try and exploit the fact that only had the 2-man midfield and no real protection in front of their defence. It was working. We were a bit wasteful, but it was working. But then they went and got that equaliser, which really annoyed me, because defensively we were all over the place in that game. Saliba was terrible. Owusu Oduro was terrible. And you can see the amount of yellow cards we got as well. We got fined for it, and I'm not surprised. It was really bad. But anyway, we come to the game against Barcelona. And this is the 11 that's going to be going into this game. Again, I'm not showing you this leg, the home leg. I'm going to be showing you the away leg. But I just wanted to show you the 11 before we dive into it. It's going to be our usual kind of 11. Owusu Oduro is going to be in goal. It's going to be Kadioglu, Saliba, Hato and Vigeri in defence. Rice, Odegaard and McRae in the middle, with Saka and Tel supporting Villalba. Daniel Pitchford has not captured form again since his injury, but he is now fully up to fitness, so I'm hoping it's just a matter of time. But in the meantime, Villalba, actually, if we have a quick look at him, he's been sensational. I do need to mention as well, he is the top of the next gen this year. We might not have needed Daniel Pitchford after all, but look at his form. Okay, he's had a bit of a rough form there. Man City, Leipzig and Middlesbrough, not particularly great, but he'd scored like 6 goals in 3 games just before it. Didn't score the game before that, scored the game before that, didn't score the game before that. Didn't play those games because we were trying to give Daniel Pitchford some games. Scored back-to-back in the games before that. Didn't score in the final games before that, but he obviously didn't play against Everton from the start. Did score, however, against Roma. Didn't really do that well before that, but he was a substitute, didn't play before that, and that's the end of it. He's also made his Argentina debut and scored his first Argentina goal as well. So he's definitely doing a good job. Daniel Pitchford, meanwhile, has just kind of obscured into kind of nothingness at this point, and his development's not going very well at all. Hasn't scored since the middle of February. We're on the 9th of April, 2 months. Okay, period of injury, but he's had 4 games in a row where he's not been able to get a goal in. In terms of shots as well, I mean, how many shots has he had? I mean, didn't have any shots at all against Leipzig, and he played just under half an hour. 5 shots against Man City, only 1 of them on target. 2 shots against Brighton, none of them on target, and came on for the last 10 minutes, didn't get a single shot. Very poor from him recently. Hopefully he can capture himself into form. Do want to mention Darvic has been out with an injury. That might be the best thing that could happen to him, actually, because his form had really turned around in a negative way. Hopefully that little break will help him out. Wrench is also injured as well. But other than that, all is well. Right, I'm going to go and play this game. I'll come back at the end of it, and then we'll get into the proper 2 games of the video. So bear with me, and I'll be right back. Okay, I completely got carried away at the end of this game and I've stopped way later than I was going to, but you can see the top score, the score at the top of the screen there. 4-0 is the final score, but we were helped out by a red card to Barcelona. Kounde, one of their centre-backs, getting sent off. But the thing I'm most delighted about is you can see the score there, Daniel Pitchford getting 2 goals. Bukayo Saka, who's not been in the best of form recently as well, him getting 2 goals as well. Really happy with that. Tello, man of the match, really good performance from him. That puts us in a fantastic position. Didn't want to click on that. A fantastic position before the return leg. 4 goals up there without one of their starting defenders. Away from home, I would have fancied Barcelona. I still probably fancy them to get a result on the day, but I'll take that. I've also realised I never actually moved my camera over to the side. So, there we go. Right, that's done. Everton in 3 days. I'll see you for that one. So we find ourselves switching focus to the Premier League, and this is how the table is currently looking. Now, we have already confirmed that Conference League place because of the Carabao Cup that I forgot that we'd won, which is obviously fantastic. But at the moment, we are currently, what is that? That is 10 points, 9, 7 points clear. But we do have a game in hand as well, so it probably will be 10 points clear once we win that, maybe. Our goal difference is still ridiculous. 98 goals. We've got the best in the league. The nearest to us is Man United on 62. Goals against is definitely not the best. We've got equal second best. The first best being our local rival Spurs, obviously. Quick shout for Wolves. They're hanging in there in 5th place. They're only 2 points behind Newcastle, looking for that final Champions League place. Right, let's get to the actual game and let's get into it. This is the 11 we're going to be using. It's a Wusso Duro in goal, Missouri, Saliba, Sutalo and Vigari in defence, Gavi, Odegaard and Paniagua in the middle, with Saka and Martinelli supporting Pitchford up front, because Pitchford just came off the bench at half time and just had an absolute madness. I'm hoping he can do that again. That is the hope. But that's the 11. We are starting Odegaard for only the 2nd time since his injury, and we are also starting Paniagua just to give McRae a rest. We are still waiting for Darvic to come back from his injury. Wrench has come back, but he's literally only just come back, so I'm going to rest him a little bit. I'm going to say that, and then I just want to try and motivate Daniel Pitchford more and more, and we'll go into the game and see what we can do. I didn't catch where Everton actually are in the table, so I'll wait for that to come up here just so we can have a check. You can see 4 out of the last 5 wins for us. Everton, they've lost 3 out of the last 5, only won 1 out of the last 5, so they're on the definite worse run than we are. They're currently in 11th, so they're looking to try and find their way into the top half of the table with limited success. However, Chelsea are only just ahead of them, and we did struggle against them, so who knows. They're playing also the Devils 4-4-2. Why is it the Devils 4-4-2? Because I don't get on with it very well. That's the only reason. So it'll be interesting to see how we actually do today, and whether we have to shift our kind of playing style like we did against Chelsea, because I mean, well, I don't want it to happen, but it could very well happen. Big ball forward is absolutely nowhere. Missouri ends up getting onto it. He's the guy, I said the kid, he's 26 or something like that. The guy that we loaned in as an emergency fullback in January. He's played a couple of times for us, he's done okay. Right, Martinelli, waiting for someone to make a run. He's going to drift out wide a little bit here. Instead, is Rigari going to come and support him? He's not. Paniagua is actually floating it into Saka, doesn't quite find him. And Evan Ferguson loses the ball. Paniagua still has possession here. He's also made his Argentina debut this season. Pitchford now going for the long shot, and Daniel Pitchford has remembered how to be a footballer. Apparently all he needed to do was change into a complete forward and make sure that he was up to absolute, complete full fitness. No excuses whatsoever. Wow, what a goal this is. I'm delighted. Gavi with the assist as well. Just rifles it in with his right foot. Okay, we've got two very good strikers, which does create a problem because we are going to have to prioritise one over the other. Now, we're an English club. Pitchford feels like the one we should be prioritising because of that, because we don't actually, but we're typical Arsenal, we don't have that many English players. We probably should be prioritising him. But with how this season has gone, I feel like Villalba has been a little bit more reliable. Maybe, I don't know. I don't quite know whether that's fair. So the question then becomes, can we make a two-striker system? Well, we can, but can we make one with wingers? Can we make one with the wide players? Because we've got very talented wide players. I don't know whether... But we can. We could do a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4. We could even do the 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1 or something like that. That I have done once or twice when we've needed a goal. Floating header from Satalo. Odegaard gets an assist as well, which is lovely to see. I've switched him, by the way, into a central midfield on attack position. It's better than a Mazzala for him, apparently. So we have done that just to see whether it works. And well, he's got an assist there. Admittedly, it's from a free kick. So, you know, you have to kind of judge it on balance a little bit. Highlight for Everton here. Lewis Ferguson getting back to Patterson, floating it forward, looking for Canate, and he hits the postal crossbar, but it doesn't go in. It ends up going out of play. We get away with it, and we actually, I think it was offside anyway, so we do have the resulting free kick. Ruggieri now into Martinelli. Back to Satalo. Satalo, not the best of form recently, but he'll be absolutely delighted to get a goal today. Gavi now into Odegaard. Odegaard to Saka. Saka cutting in a little bit. Looking for the pass. Went for the shot instead. Normally, I'd be all right with that, but that was a bit of a poor pass. A bit of a poor shot, rather, not a pass. Don't think it'd be better if it was a pass, to be honest with you. But either way, it wasn't very good, and we still remain at 2-0. 2-0's fine. I mean, we kind of feel like we're cruising at the moment, which I'm absolutely happy with. I've got no issues with cruising through this one as long as we win it. Free kick to Odegaard. Is he going to score? He did score his first goal of the season from one of these. Didn't score there, and Saka just hacks it. Not having a good game, Bukayo Saka, after his masterclass against Barcelona. I think we'll take him off at half-time. He's not had a particularly good game. But yeah, in terms of getting the best out of both of the strikers, if one of them starts to become more consistent, then we've got a choice. We either keep both of them, try to satisfy both of them, and kind of live with the knowledge that we're stunting the growth of one of them, or we sell one of them for hopefully a huge profit, and then we bring in someone who's happy to be a B player. And also, by the way, Matteo Ruggieri with an absolute stunning goal. He does chip in with these every now and then. I mean, I miss Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri at Wolves was fantastic for this sort of thing, but as the season has gone on, Ruggieri has kind of settled into the kind of just marauding, attacking wing-back role where he can just blast the ball into the back of the net. Kadioglu can do it as well. Aït-Nouri was my favourite at doing it, but I have to say that was lovely. Oh, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. And that is going to be half-time, I think. 3-0, 3 different goal scorers, 3 different assist providers. We're doing very well here. Very, very well indeed. I'm going to say that one. We'll tell Ruggieri to calm himself down. I'm going to tell Saliba he's not particularly great today. And I'm going to tell Saka he can do a bit better. I'm also thinking we'll just make a few changes here to players that we can afford to rest. Saka will do that with. We'll bring on Simic. I'm going to take off Saliba for Harto. We'll move you two around. Keep Missouri on. Ruggieri I'll take off for Kadioglu. And that's more just to give Ruggieri a rest. And we know Kadioglu can do an absolutely fine job at left back. In fact, left back I think technically is his better position. Right, second half. Let's see if we can just get more goals. That'd be lovely. We start with the corner immediately, actually. Martinelli going to be whipping it in, or is he going to pass it short? He's gone short to Simic, actually. To Gavi, to Martinelli, into Paniagua. Oh, I thought that was going to be a well-worked set piece. I'd have loved if Pitchford had just gone and just knocks it in. That would have been even better. This has been a really nice, well-controlled game from us, actually. Yes, they've had a couple of highlights, but we've looked pretty good. and unchallenged for the majority of it. I will say, against Barcelona, we looked good, and we hadn't looked particularly great up until that point. So it was a nice surprise to see us turn up against a really big team. And it's been nice to see us not capitulate in this game as well. Does it have me worried for the second leg against Barcelona at the new camp? I don't think it does have me that worried, but I thought it was going to goal then. I'm also aware, however, that they have got the quality to completely and utterly turn it around. So we need to not get complacent when we play them. That has been a concern of mine every now and then. Sometimes it would just look a little bit like we've switched off and we need like to concede a goal or two to just kind of get us back going again. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Gavi has controlled the game quite nicely. He's not the playmaker, but he has looked pretty good in that position, doing that kind of job. And Pitchford, is he back to his best? He very well might be. That's 2 games in a row. He scored 2 goals. I'd love a hat-trick today. That'd be great. I mean, annoyingly, I would have taken him off and brought on Villalba. I can't now. He's on 2 goals. That, you know what the rules are. You cannot take a player off who's on 2 goals. You're just not allowed to. Unless there's like an injury or something. Don't get injured. If he gets injured now, I've said that. Oh my... I will be furious with the game. Furious. I will be so mad. I don't think that is going to happen, but I would be cross. Right, final changes for the game. Let's bring on Waneri for Odegaard. Odegaard, he's done okay. We'll give him a little bit of a rest. And for my final trick, everyone else is fully fit. I don't necessarily need to make another change. I might just bring Declan Rice on for a little bit. Get him a few more minutes out there. Do you know what? I'm actually going to change him as well. Let's have him do the exact same job that Gavi does. Let's just have him get a little bit further forward because he's got the ability to do it. And I don't know, the balance has felt really good with this one. We don't necessarily need Declan Rice being that complete wall against the defence. It doesn't hurt us if he gets a little bit further forward because he is technically a decent player. I mean, we've scored, that's great. If Kadioglu had put that in, if that had ended up in the back of the net, I think I'd have walked out. Paniagua gets it to him. What a curling effort that is. And Simic is there just to pick up the scraps. That basically sums up Simic's season. I don't think he's been that particularly good for us, and I would be happy to see the back of him in the January transfer window. Before that, if I'm honest, and well, yeah, that's basically been him. He's been a bit of a, like, not a tapping merchant, but essentially he's been the case of he's capitalised on other people's stuff. He's had a couple of moments of brilliance, don't get me wrong, but not enough of them to make me kind of look at that and go, oh, brilliant, he's doing really well. Nah, he's bang average. That is going to be the game. That is another 3 points, 5 goals and a clean sheet. That will do. What a performance that was. Like, I mean, Everton are not relegation fodder. They are mid-table. And we've just gone and absolutely battered them. I mean, you look at Man United do a couple of places below us. They've battered my team, Villa, 7-0. 2 more goals, but Villa are all the way down here. So that shows you that, you know, if we'd played Villa in the same kind of circumstances, we'd have probably got the same amount of goals, if not more. The attacking potential in this team being what it is. That was good. That was very good. I just want to have a quick look at the kind of game statistics in the league. Let's have a look. So Pitchford and Tell are both second and third joint top goal scorers with 17, with Erling Haaland 18. Tell is still the best player in the league, along with Saka and Martinelli behind him. Tell and Darvic are 1 and 2 on assists. Luso Duro is now level with Vicario on clean sheets. So getting there, although Kadioglu does need to be very careful. He's third on the list of yellow cards. Right, 3 days away from the Barcelona game. I'll see you in a moment. So you can see the email above the one that I'm looking at the moment. I've just looked at it. A little bit cross, if I'm being honest. I should point out, financially, we are in a bit of an issue. We have got a lot of red on the budget, which is not great. I don't know how, because we've not spent beyond our means, but it is what it is. However, so that's a budget of 12 million. Now, what's worse is they have given us a good amount of wage budget, which is fine, but that doesn't really translate to much. So, that is a bit of a problem. Now, having said that, when you look at our current spending and our committed spending, we will have another £400,000 to play with when players leave. So, and you can see what I mean by the overall balance. I don't really understand why the balance is that low. I don't know quite how that is the case. Like, we are... I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a quick nose at this, actually. It's probably going to make the video pretty long, but I need to have a look at it. Right, last month, in terms of what we made... 27.5 million. In terms of expenditure, 46. Where's that 46? Player wages is a lot of it, obviously. In fact, it's player wages, isn't it? That's what it is. Our income is not very high at all, really, is it? Our income is not very high at all. Why is Arsenal's income not that high? I don't, because they finished second. They're in the Champions League last season, so I don't know. I don't understand that. Like, yes, we've got high wages, but most big Premier League clubs do. It's really frustrating. I mean, we've got a lot of players who are on over £200,000 a week. However, bear in mind, this season we will be losing two of the really high earners who are over £300,000 a week. That's Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. That's over £600,000 a week that's going to be going off the books. So that's fantastic. So we'll get some money back from that. We'll probably again be moving on Simic, who's on £110,000 side. They might go as well, so that's around 90. But we can replace those with like one worldie and a few youngsters to kind of pad the team out, then we'll be fine. But I mean, and even if someone like Saliba, if he went and we got a good fee for him, I'd consider it, because he's a good player, but he's not been all that this season. That's pathetic, but we might be able to get around it, so it might not be the end of the world. But immediately, just looking at that, I do feel a little bit cross. I really do. That's nothing. What am I meant to do with that? That's less than what I had before they gave me the budget. I had more money than that. Well, I didn't have as much of a wage budget, to be fair. But what can we do with that? Like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're back and we are ready for the second leg against Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Remember, we do have a 4-goal lead owing to their red card that they received in the first leg to Kounde. So they are down a defender, so they're going to have to deal with that. But it's Barcelona. I'm sure they'll manage. Just to confirm, Barcelona currently are actually second in La Liga to Real Madrid. But it's so close. They've got a game in hand, so they are basically net top of that league. So they are a difficult team to play against. And wow, we'll see just how difficult they are at home. I'm trying to think. I'm sure we've played against Barcelona in this save already. I'm sure it was maybe with, but it would have had to have been with Wolves, wouldn't it? I'm sure we have played them. I can't remember exactly how it went. I feel like we probably ended up getting the better of them. One moment, just to confirm. It actually was not us who got the better of them. They got the better of us. When I say us, obviously Wolves. We lost against them at home in the first leg 2-1. And then we actually got a draw against them at our place. Sorry, at their place, actually. So actually it was the other way around. We did better at their place than at the Molineux, which was a bit interesting. So a little bit of personal revenge, not necessarily club revenge with Arsenal, but a little bit of personal revenge with this one. But this is the 11 that we're going to be seeking that revenge with. It's going to be Owusu Aduro in goal. Then we have got Kadioglu, Saliba, Satala and Ruggieri in defence. Gavi, Odegaard and McRae in the midfield, with Saka and Tell supporting Pitchford up front. I was tempted to put Declan Rice in. I'm going to go with Gavi just because I've seen more from Gavi in recent times. A little bit more energy in the midfield, and I don't know, the spiciness of the fact that we signed Gavi in January from Barcelona, it's either going to go well for us or it's going to go badly for us. Either way, we've got the option of bringing Declan Rice on if we need a more defensive option. So I'm not too worried about the fact that we've got to kind of think about what we do. I'm actually going to do exactly the same thing as I did with Pitchford last time, just to try and motivate him a little bit. I'll motivate everyone else, and let's just get into it. Remember, 4-goal deficit. I've also completely forgot to change my camera back around. There we go. 4-goal deficit that Barcelona have to try and make up. We, of course, are in the driver's seat, but I don't want us just to sit back. I don't want us just to rest on our laurels. I want us to get out there and get some goals and really see them out and get to that Champions League semi-final. If we can get to the Champions League semi-final, obviously it will depend on who we play, but I fancy us at that point. I really do, because I think we've got a very good side. There's things I'd love to change with it, but I think we've got a very well-balanced side with some absolute superstars. If we win it this season, it's part one of the Champions League part of the mission. Obviously, the main mission for the Champions League is to win it 3 times with 3 different clubs. But the default kind of aim for this save is just winning the Champions League as a manager. I thought Odegaard was going to put us 1-0 up then. So if we can do it this season, great. We can focus on the kind of sub-objective, which is the kind of 3 with 3. But the main thing is to get that first one done. If we can do it this season, it would be fantastic. And then we can kind of just focus on the Champions League going forward. It does, however, mean if we do win the Champions League with Arsenal, technically speaking, we're done with Arsenal. Because, again, it's the Champions League winning it 3 times with 3 different clubs. We'll technically be done with Arsenal at that point. Of course, we don't have to stop with 3. We can try and make ourselves the most... Oh, they've gone and scored, haven't they? Ferran Torres makes it 1-0 at the new camp in 5 minutes. That's really frustrating. Yeah, we don't necessarily have to stop. We can set ourselves a new objective if we want to, because I am having fun with this save. But the objective that we set ourselves will be done. So we need to think about that. If we do go through, which it's looking like we are at the moment, although Barcelona, again, obviously have just scored, then we do have to bear in mind that we need to think of what we do going forward in the save, because we've only been at Arsenal for 1 season by the end of this year. So that feels like really, really soon to leave. Maybe we try and win everything domestically with the club before we leave. So we give it at least our obligatory 2 seasons that we seem to give clubs, and then we go forward and decide to do what we want to do. We are really struggling in this game, which, to be fair, it's the new camp against Barcelona. I'd be surprised if we didn't have at least a little bit of a struggle. I think we might do a tactical change at some point just to see if we can kind of mix things up a little bit. Also, Duro does well defensively there. Can he get the ball to someone to start getting forward? They're doing a really good job of isolating our players here. We go out wide, well, to Saliba, who's kind of split a little bit. I mean, Kadioglu was free. He's still free. He now has the ball. He has got Saka ahead of him. Is he going to get the ball to him? No, he goes to Odegaard, who's made a run. Odegaard goes back to Kadioglu, realising the way is blocked off. Now back to Saliba. He has got Gavi just there free, but goes back to Kadioglu. It's a bit clogged up on that side, but he's done well there. Saka loses the ball though. That's really poor from Saka, but Odegaard's up for this one. To Pitchford, over to Saka now. Can he make up for it? Crosses it in, looking for Memphis Tell. It's a header from out wide, and it goes just wide. Good opportunity there, but we do not take it, and it is still 1-0 to Barcelona. Good little bit of play there from us. We just need to keep that up a little bit more, and if we can, we'll be fine. Obviously, again, the overall aggregate score, I knew it was a risk starting him. I knew it was a risk starting him. Well, they had a red card in the first game. We've had a red card in this one, and it's former Barcelona player Gavi who's been sent off. Right, now what do we do? Because Odegaard's having a really poor game out there. I mean, Declan Rice is coming on. That goes without saying. Okay, I'm just taking a moment to think about what we're going to do. There's part of me that thinks we go to the 3 at the back and we go 3-4-2. I'm not going to do that. That feels like utter craziness. The wings, I feel like they've been a little bit of a struggle. So what I actually think I'm going to do is I'm going to go with our 3-striker system, but with... In fact, I haven't got it set up actually, so let me... In fact, it's basically this system. Let me... Yeah, I know this looks a little bit mental, but hear me out. I have used this before when I've needed to get something from a game. Not that we necessarily need to, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change the team so we don't have wingers, but keep Saka in. And Saka can play as a wing back on the left hand side, so that's what we're doing with him. We've got Declan Rice and Odegaard in the middle, though Odegaard I don't think it's going to be long for this game. We are going to probably be taking him off. I don't know who for though. We might probably bring on Paniagua into that position in the second half, but we'll just stick with the one change with Declan Rice for now. He's going to be there as a supporting defensive midfielder. At the moment, the only 2 attacking instructions are the 2 strikers. Everyone else should be able to do a decent job, but we've got these 2 shielding these guys and hopefully helping out with the wide positions as well. We're just going to go for it. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit crazy. We'll go for it for now and see what happens. If it looks like we're going drastically wrong, we can bring the fullbacks back. We can put defensive instructions on the attacking midfielders as well. If we need to do that, then it's absolutely fine. But I just want to go for something a little bit kind of different, because what we were doing wasn't working very well. Big ball whipped in there. I thought we were going to get lucky there. Saka is there though! And Saka just has not had the magic touch in this game. Odegaard really having a poor game, by the way, so he is going to be coming off. He's on as bad a game as Gavi, and Gavi had the red card. That tells you everything about the time he's having. We're having some really poor performances out there, actually, so I'm going to shout at them. I'm not going to throw the bottle, but I'm going to thrash the arms and go around the room and just put in some home truths to some people. Not been good enough at all. I'm going to really shout at him. Right, he's coming off because he's kind of folded like a wet paper napkin there, really, to be honest with you. And then you two will say the same. And then everyone else, we're just going to try and G up and get them going a little bit. Right. Okay, so we're going to take off Odegaard. I'm going to bring on Paniagua. Why are they the wrong way around? Why have they swapped around? They've randomly swapped around for some reason, which I don't get. Right, Paniagua can't play there. He'll be fine. He'll have to be. He's got no choice in the matter. I'm going to take Saliba off as well for Harto. And we'll move Harto and Satala around just so Harto's playing on the left-hand side. And then I'm happy to make one more substitution now and save the rest of them. I'm looking at McRae. I'm thinking the return of Noah Darvic. Putting him in the attacking midfield role. Letting him do his thing, maybe. And we go for that now, and then we've still got the one final change left. Maybe. Yeah, do you know what? We'll do that. We'll go with it. See what happens. We'll see what happens. Right, make that final couple of conversations with people. Say that one. Let's go for it. Right, fire the boys up, and let's just hope that we've managed to G the boys up. Although the fact that we started with a highlight in the Barcelona half doesn't really fill me with confidence. To be fair, the way we've now set ourselves up... Right, I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. That was nowhere near him. If this gets given as a penalty, I'm going to be furious. That was nowhere near his foot. I'm sorry. That's outrageous. That's an outrageous referee decision. Justice. Absolute justice. So Soudura does a great job at saving that. Utter justice. Should never, ever have been a penalty. It's not going to show us a replay, obviously. But if you go back and watch that, he doesn't touch him at all. I'm adamant of it. That is ridiculous that the game just tried to do that. Absolutely ridiculous. So Soudura, though. Fantastic work as the goalkeeper. Right, they are all over us, so it's clearly not worked, this system. So the problem is Saka can't really play at left back, so I have kind of stumped myself a little bit there. I don't really want to make my final change as a wing back, to be honest with you, because it does limit us somewhat. I'm gonna leave him as a complete wing back. He can do the job. He started off, from what I can remember, being able to play at left back, so I'm admitting I've stuffed up by doing that particular change, but it's fine. Right, Declan Rice is going to go to the half-back position just to give us a bit more defensive stability. I'm going to keep both of these guys as complete wing-backs. Actually, let's keep them getting forward, and I'm going to bring Darvic back to be centre mid on attack so he can get forward, and Paniagua can be an advanced playmaker on support. These guys will continue getting forward. I'm going to take that off because it didn't really do anything. And I'm going to keep the overlapping on. I'm going to take off... In fact, I'm going to return these back to what they were. And I think we'll just have to keep everything else the same. Yeah. I think we will. I want to keep the overlapping on. I'll tell you what, let's change the overlapping. So we're going to focus going overlapping down this side rather than this side. We'll play through the middle and try and get the ball across there. Yeah, that feels like the play. Let's do it. Been much better in this game, Barcelona, from what we can see, but they've not been as good in this game as we were in the first game. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can get another goal just to make it a bit more nervous. It feels like the penalty was their real chance, and they just didn't take it. Right, demand more from the boys. We have a highlight. Barcelona in possession here. Okay, ball's out. We're pressing them. We are pressing them quite nicely here. I thought Daniel Pitchford was going to get in there, but he doesn't. Right, Yamal comes backwards. Oh, it's a mistake. Paniagua, I thought he'd done enough there. He has done enough. And it's former Arsenal player Gabriel who's gone and got himself sent off. All of a sudden, we are even Stevens. Oh, this has turned a lot more dramatic than I was expecting it to. Right, we have got one final change. I am thinking about Pitchford coming off. He's not had a good game. And I'm thinking about maybe Villalba. Changing him to an advanced forward. And I'm going to change Darvic to an advanced playmaker on attack. I know we've got 2 playmakers then, but he's just a better player as a playmaker. A much better player as a playmaker. Right. They're also only playing with 1 striker in a diamond now, so I'm also thinking, do we go a little bit bold? Do we go... I know I did this before and it didn't really do much, but I'm going to go with that again. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Let's push on. Let's push on. Because they're only playing with these 2. They're playing Yamal slightly out of position. He's kind of shifting wide and into the middle. That feels like a stroke of luck, because it stops any chance they have of really getting back into this game and fully surpassing us. I'd like to get an equaliser. If we don't get one, it's not the end of the world, but I would like to get an equaliser just to avoid a loss. But I'll take a loss if it means we go through in the grand scheme of things to the semi-final. Right, Darvic, he loses the ball, which is a bit disappointing. It's his first match back from his injury, so I'm not too harsh on him in this one, to be fair. But right, Joe Neves has burst forward. He has actually got a little bit of support with him in the face of Ramon. We managed to clear it as far as Paniagua. Gets to Tell, who's dropped deep. Tell out wide to Saka. This might be the chance for the equaliser here. Saka running down the left, which is in recent times a bit of a foreign concept to him. He has got support with him if he wants it. Not using it at the moment. He's gone into the corner and won a free kick, actually. It's nicely done from Bukayo Saka. I want to get a goal, but I don't mind the fact that he's trying to... That's the worst free kick I've seen on Football Manager. That just was awful. I don't mind the fact that he's wasted time there, because he knows that we're through as long as we don't lose by 4 goals, and we've done that. Not a vintage performance in any way, shape or form, but we've done what we've needed to do. We were helped out. I mean, the fact that I've just said that we blew them away is ridiculous. We were helped out massively by the red card in the first leg, and the fact they got a red card in this one as well. Former players of each side getting red cards is quite funny. But, yeah, there we go. We get a little bit of money as well, which does not help our financial deficit by one way or the other at all. Gavi's banned from 1 match. He'll be out of the first leg against Paris Saint-Germain because we can't have nice things. I'm, of course, going to appeal, because why wouldn't I? But it's fine, because Declan Rice will just have to play. That's just how it will be. Right, so... that was dramatic. We will be back, if I just move my face over again. We will be back for the game against Paris Saint-Germain. We'll probably do the same thing that we did in this video. I'm going to come back before the Paris Saint-Germain game. I'll play that one off camera, show you what the result was immediately after. And then we will come back for... I don't quite know what we'll do. We'll come back for something. We've got the FA Cup semi-final next, actually. Kind of the same as in the last video. We've got the FA Cup immediately after. This time it's against Leicester. So we won't have an FA Cup game. So it'll be a Premier League game we come back for. Maybe we come back for Brighton. Maybe we come back for Newcastle. I don't know. Maybe we come back for Leeds. I'll have a think about that. But we will come back first before the Paris Saint-Germain first leg. Show you what happened in that one. Then we'll come back for the second leg, which again is away from home. I don't like that. But we're going to do it this year. We're going to do it the hard way. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, do not forget to leave a like on there for me and hit that subscribe button just so you don't miss any of the content that comes from this face right here. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.